Hey, thank you for tuning in this week for Carrie Ann's Bridal's weekly wedding webisodes. I am Rachel, and today I am going to be talking with Robert about some bro tips for all you guys out there, and as well as some girls.
Hopefully we can answer all of your dating needs.
We wanted to ask you, how would you ask a girl out on a date?
Well, I mean, I guess it depends on the situation. For most dudes, it's like, a lot of us get really nervous when we talk to girls, and it's like, you don't necessarily want to come off as like you're desperate, or if you're really looking for like a date and really want to get to know somebody. The best approach is just go up and be honest with them and just go right up to them, old school style. Introduce yourself, say a couple nice things, really get to talk to them. Feel them out first and see, not actually feel them up, of course. I'm saying like feel them out and see and if they show some interest, then that's when you can usually say, hey, if it's somebody you random, but most people end up dating, they usually end up knowing each other for a little bit first. So if I could give any advice out there for ladies, if a guy approaches you, you might not know things about him, but at least give him a chance to say a couple things. You never know who you might find.
So you're saying that you would meet a lot of girls, a guy should meet a lot of girls through friends and mutual friends?
I'd say the best way to find somebody to date is definitely meeting somebody through friends, because one, you can have somebody to vouch for them. You can also learn a little bit about them before you go up and do your approach.
Now, do you have any pickup lines in mind if you would ask a girl out?
For girls or for me?
Yes, for you asking a girl.
I mean, I personally think pickup lines in general are kind of cheesy. I don't think they work a lot of times. Most of the time they just creep girls out. Especially girls nowadays are so everyone's so, I wouldn't say I don't mean it's an assault to them, but a lot of girls feel entitled, they feel the guy's gonna always come up to them and say something to them, always the guy makes the first move. And I feel a pickup line definitely, if it has to be cheesy enough to where it's funny, but not in a creepy way. For example, I would go up to some girl and be like, are you a cat because I think you're looking pretty today? See, that's funny, and it's kind of cheesy, and kind of lowers the anxiety around the between them, because she's probably just as nervous as you are.
So you're saying that girls nowadays are more entitled, you think they feel? So you're saying that the roles can be reversed, that a girl now can approach a guy? A
very good idea, because the gender roles really are changing throughout the country. You can see it the past 10, 20 years. Really a big thing for guys nowadays is sometimes the guys don't necessarily always want to be that first person to come up and initiate something. But if any girl who once in a while shows that she's interested, that just makes the guy more comfortable, and it makes the guy want to open up to her more.
So women, try to make the first move now. It seems like that's the thing to do nowadays. Guys really like that, so that's a good point.
Not necessarily the first move, but I would say how you'll talk, you get her, the guy gets her number, you're supposed to wait the next day, at least 24 hours, give a grace period, keep her guessing a little bit. Instead of waiting for him to text you, shoot him a text and he won't stop texting you. I guarantee it.
Awesome. All right, the next question we have for you is, do you manscape before the first date?
Do I manscape?
Yes. Do you groom yourself?
I mean, if I have a date with a girl, I have so many, it's hard to keep track. Not really though. But anyway, I'm saying don't try too hard, because if you come off for guys especially, if you go out on that first date and you're looking like you really tried too much, I feel you come off as a little bit insecure and insincere, you're dolling yourself up. It's best to just be yourself. And whatever you feel most comfortable in, if you like getting dressed up and that's who you are, then do it. If you like wearing something more casual, then do it, because that shows who you are, and that can create a better communication between the two people. So you can tell a lot about someone about what they're wearing.
Perfect. Now, would you bring any gifts to a girl on your first date?
Absolutely not.
No gifts? No flowers?
Absolutely not.
What date do you think that's acceptable to start doing gifts?
The second or the third. Because the first date's unless, it all depends on the situation of the girl. Like I said, a lot of girls, they just want to come on the first date and they always the guy always expects something maybe, but you shouldn't. Because most girls, they're obviously going to take their time. Guys are a lot more impatient than girls are. Girls are going to take a little bit more time to see what could happen after the first date. So really, by bringing a gift for the girl, one, I think it makes the girl feel uncomfortable, and it also kind of makes you come off as desperate, and that's never a good thing if you're a dude. You never want to feel desperate. That's not true. They should take care of your girl a little bit more, show her some more affection. Only if they deserve it, though.
Oh, what would be a reason they wouldn't deserve it?
A lot of girls nowadays like this thing though. It's it needs to be a 50-50 split. If you're gonna show affection,
partnership.
If you're gonna take that extra mile to say bring flowers on the first date, if you guys do give a second date, the girl should do something for the second date.
And that's true. I think it's give and take is a huge thing. I feel we all need to be the same, give and take the same to each other, because you don't want someone to feel like they're being taken advantage of, especially when dating, because a lot of times both parties are confused on what each other is thinking and what the relationship is about, which leads me to my next question. So you're going on your first date with this girl that you met. Use your pickup line.
How good looking is the girl?
She's gorgeous. She's beautiful.
Like Scarlett Johansson gorgeous?
Okay. Is that, yes, do you think she's gorgeous? She's Scarlett Johansson.
Because remember, that's a big key too. If I would give if she's like Scarlett Johansson, she's getting a bouquet. Not just flowers, she's getting a bouquet and possibly edible arrangements.
Say you're taking Scarlett Johansson out.
Okay.
A look-alike, a gorgeous girl.
Okay.
What would be some good first date ideas? Like, what would be something that you would take a girl on a first date?
See, like, I'm all about, like, I guess I'm a little bit different from guys. Like, obviously the traditional thing would be dinner and, like, a movie or something. But I like kind of, like, I think a first good date, especially when you're sitting getting to know somebody, is go do something, like, kind of, like, active together. Maybe go, like, mini golf. Maybe go to, like, see, like, a show of some sort, like a live show. Do something that would you both can, like, interact with something and can, like, do together. Not just sit at the dinner and just, like, talk. That's just, I think that's kind of boring. And especially if you're starting to get to know somebody, you take them, like, out of, like, a comfort date zone. I feel like you kind of, like, see a little bit more.
Get them on a comfort level of knowing them in a different environment rather than just sitting at dinner.
Yeah, because I mean, like, that's the thing. If you're a traditional type of guy and that's what she wants, then you should do. Basically, a good advice tip for bros would be to ask her.
Right.
Because I know guys, like, girls like it when guys, like, have the plans already. But if it's a first date, always ask the girl and ask her what she wants to do. Because at least then you can't get yelled at later if you didn't do what you wanted to do. Because at least you asked.
Well, I think that's a good answer. I think women would agree with that. Now, you're on your first date. Do you pick her up?
Yes.
You do not meet them at the restaurant. Say you did take them to a restaurant.
I know. If you are going on a first date, definitely pick them up. If you have vehicle transportation. If you don't, then I guess you can always, like, you can work it out. I guess you can talk to her and at least bring it up to her. But, like, if you do have a car and you have some sort of, you need to pick her up, go to her door, open the door for her. If her parents are there or if she lives alone, make sure you introduce yourself to anybody else in the household and then go up on your way. Quick, simple, out of the door.
I think that is what women want. I think nowadays men expect the woman to come and meet them somewhere, and it's not more personal as it used to be where you go and knock on their door and bring them to a date. Because I've dealt with guys before that really haven't done that, and it's a shame because that's not even the fact that it's traditional, it's just the respectable thing to do, and I feel like women would agree with me in that.
And guys, also, your chances skyrocket if you pick her up, go to her door, and drive her yourself. Because usually, like, if the date goes very well and you're driving, good things usually happen to follow. So really, you increase your chances by being a gentleman. Or, like, at least...
Always be a gentleman.
Always be a gentleman, even if you don't really mean it. Just do it. Because it'll end up helping you in the long run, and girls definitely
Good answer.
appreciate it.
I completely
She'll
agree.
get what she wants, and eventually you will get what you want.
Now, you're on this date, and she brings out her phone and starts texting. What do you feel about texting during a first date?
A first date, I would definitely, like, if I saw it as to be a problem, especially if I was talking to her and we're having a conversation, she's always on her phone. I would politely ask the first time, be like, hey, like, you know, I know, like, we're on this date or whatever, I know you agreed to this, like, all this stuff and everything, I'm just trying to, like, talk and everything. Very politely, like, don't ever be on your cell phone if they're on their cell phone. Definitely make, like, a funny comment about it, like, say, like, if you're a guy, I mean, because you don't want to make her feel uncomfortable because she could be actually doing something important. Just say to her, like, hey, like, oh, geez, you're, like, always on your phone, or, like, you're glued to your phone. Like, make, like, a joke about it first, and see if she'll get, like, the memo, because most girls will, like, get the point that you're, like, making a joke about, like, this is ridiculous. And I feel like if it continues throughout the date, like, after you already made a couple comments about it, if she doesn't put it away, obviously she's more interested in something else than you, and that would be your time to hurry up, scarf down your food, and say, check, please, take her home, and that's the end of that. Because obviously, if there's something more important on her cell phone that she could look at 23 other hours of the day and not take that time to get to know you, she's not worth it.
I completely agree. Now, what if, say, a man was doing that? I think
it's
women.
The same way.
It is the same way. Yep.
The girl should say, make a few comments, and if it doesn't stop, don't answer. If she hits you up again, don't answer him. Because that's not the person you want to be. You want to be with someone who's going to be
interested
in talking to you. You know, because
right.
you should. The respect goes both ways. Like, you should respect them, and they should respect you. No cell phones on the first date.
I just have one more question, and all of us women want to know this answer to this question.
Of course you do.
So, when is it acceptable? What date, I should say, is it acceptable to have sex the first time with a girl? How many dates does it take?
I mean, I definitely want to give, like, good, honest answers, like, especially because, you know, we're doing our webisode, and, like, I mean, if you really want to brutally honest from a guy's perspective, obviously I'm looking for it on the first date. Like, if it happens and you're down for it, like, it's definitely going to happen. Only if the girl's down for it, like, of course, like, if she completely, like, that's the thing. If it's, like, a first date and she, like, throws herself at you, I am not going to say no. Do I think that's trashy and I'm going to call her again? Probably not. I will probably not call her again.
So when would it be acceptable that you would still talk to her to have sex with the girl on the
I'd
date?
say, like, if we've been talking for at least a couple of weeks. And you go on multiple dates, or like you go on multiple, like you go out with friends like multiple times and you guys have hung out multiple times. And then I will, if you like make me wait, I respect that a lot more, and that's somebody like, that's the type of girl you want to talk to.
Yeah, you want to talk to a girl who is respectable and respects herself.
But guys, if you are on a first date and some girl does throw herself at you and she opens up to the possibility of that first date, go for it and just don't call her.
Oh my goodness. Well, I disagree, but Robert, it was really nice having you here, speaking with you to talk about some dating tips from the bro himself for Carrie Ann's Bridal's weekly wedding webisodes. And tune into every Friday for our weekly wedding webisodes, and I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you.
Take it easy.